Yeah, I'm up in my garage. It's Friday, the day's over. This is going to be a long video. If you like problem solving and just figuring out things you don't know, that's what this video is going to be about. I did edit the video, parts of it. There's some things that aren't clear. Prelude the engine. You'll see when I pull the distributor out and spin it, that's what I'm doing. I think that's the only thing that's not really clear. It's hard to make these videos because you keep going in different directions that you don't plan on. Other videos where you want to fix your horn. Two steering wheels apart. This is the one that was in my car. This is the one that came out of the other car. Here's the part number. Picture. This side goes up. These ball things go down. These points here. And it matches, so it'll work. Then here's the, and this is the fuel sending unit that works with the gas gauge. I had an extra gas tank. I opened it up. I cut it open. I don't know how many videos back, and this is what was inside. And the part number, I got this off Amazon. When we pull the other one out, whatever's in there, we'll find out if it matches. But I'm sure it will. So it came with this and these two washers. So when I took it apart, I had to pop this off of here, and it just shattered. So I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to use these, but I can probably glue it down. Yeah, I put a string on here just to make sure the wheels are straight. So I just got it from tire to tire. And that's good. I just wasn't sure. I don't want to do it twice. Yeah, this might be obvious, but like I said, this part goes up. These two little grooves right here are these pins here. And these go right there. So I can't put these washers on. Right there. Just gonna put some epoxy. Oh yeah, and by the way, this spring comes out. The bearing's right down in there. I put some grease down in there before I pulled the spring out. I just pushed some grease down in there with a screwdriver, and then this pushed the grease down even further. Yeah, I put some tape around here because this stuff can be messy and sticky. So that'll hold it. I just pushed it in. I guess I should let it dry. I'm tempted to pull the tape off, but I guess I'm not gonna let it dry. I'll go work on the gas tank. Sometimes this stuff runs a little bit, but this doesn't appear to be running. I mean, I could put a piece of tape on there. Maybe I will. Yeah, so I just put a piece of tape on there. Like I said, I've done it before, and it slowly runs out. This way it'll hold it onto the gas tank. Well, first of all, I had put 5 gallons of gas in here, so conveniently as a drain plug, I'm gonna drain the gas into here. Then maybe I'll filter it out when I put it back in. Looks pretty clean. You can hear it sucking air. I never had a gas tank with a drain plug before. I should have opened the gas tank cover. I reached up on, took out the cap. Now it's coming out really good. The last thing in the world I want to happen is this to fall. It's getting pretty full. I better put the cap back in. I don't know how much gas is in that tank because the fuel didn't work. It might be full. Luckily the gas tank wasn't full. I usually keep it full, but it was half. It's almost full. I'm just gonna put it in, I guess, till it pours out. Still coming out. This sucker must have been full to the brim. I had no idea it was full. Thank God that plug was there. Got my lawnmower full to the brim. Got the car full to the brim. I filled that full to the brim. One of those was almost empty. I filled that to the brim. This has got like a quarter. And it's still coming out. Hopefully this will fit into that. That's probably enough now. Just gonna let it drip a little bit longer. Okay, here's the chunk that came out. Not much. There's a little bit in the bottom of that filter. I'd say this is about 1/3 full. It must have been full. Oh, that looks like I'm gonna have to take the tank out. As I said, I sprayed all these bolts 2 or 3 times over the last year. I guess I better disconnect this first. This probably has fuel in it also. I put a wire brush in my drill and cleaned off the threads and put WD-40. And I don't have a socket that deep, so I gotta do it by hand. Put a vice grip on the end so I could turn it. But that's as far as I need to go. It'll pop out, so I gotta do the other one. Okay, that's about as much as I had to undo it. And I pull it down in this way, and I slip those out, and I got a bungee strap. So I think I gotta lower it. I think I gotta lower it down to me to get the spout out. Okay, it came right out. That was on top. There's the bolts, the strap. Yeah, it just lowered right down. I just gotta remember this is straight up. There it goes. Okay, remember it was like this. The float is gone. Got little tangs here. Bent a little bit too far. That's it. It hits right there. And by the way, I strapped it down to the table so it wouldn't move when I hit it. The hard part will be getting it back in. But I see something maybe I should fix right now. This is all bent up. Since there's no gas here, I don't have to worry about a spark. I might have to heat it up. I better take this gas tank outside. There's too many fumes coming out. There's a bat flying around inside her. 2 bats. That's better. That's good enough. Good enough. Okay, I cleaned and painted the straps, the bolts, and the top of the fuel tank. It's just when I tipped it over there to sand it. It's all sanded. Gas came out and I had a flood. There's still like, I don't know, 3 cups in there. Anyway, I'm beat. I did enough work for today. It's freaking hot, another hot day. I don't feel like turning on the air conditioner. I got this thing pretty good. It's not perfect, but it was 10 times better than what it was. I guess I got to paint. Whatever area I'm working in, I'm going to touch up and paint. It's not going to be perfect. But I am using this rust reformer. But basically, the best way to clean it is get off the big pieces and then sand it lightly and with some sandpaper like this. And this is good for stripping paint. Really, really good. This is the best. Yeah, it's the next day. I can't really say what's going to happen because things keep changing. But right now I'm painting the gas tank. I got the trunk lock in. And I decided to flush out the inside of the gas tank. And then I want to paint up underneath the car. There's still some gas in here. I want to paint the other side. I'm just going to rinse it out with water because it's hot, so I can just put this out in the sun. I got the lock cylinder for the trunk. Hope it's right this time. And then I want to paint right in the trunk area. I'm just going to pour some water in the spout, shake it up, because this is like the lowest point. And then I'm just going to pour it into there and see how much rust we get out of here. And there's some gas in here. There's the stuff I got just by emptying the gas. I put the extra gas in here. Everything else, I'll take this plug off and wash everything, drain everything to this corner. Okay, I got everything out of the tank. At least when you shake it, you can't hear rust in there anymore. I drained it to the corner. Now I'm gonna put it into this. This is what I use to recycle oil. I'm gonna dump it out in some weeds. I wanna see how much stuff comes out in the filter. Okay, this filter's so plugged up that it's just barely draining. Look what I got out of here. That. Look at this stuff. And still all that. And there's still probably some in there, but I got most of it. This stuff floats to the bottom of your tank, I think, but as you can see, when I filled this up, some of it floats up high. So some of it will always be flowing through in your gas. But now, I don't hear anything rattling around. Anyway, I just wanted to do that. Just curious. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint this side. I'm going to hit it with a sandpaper, like I was saying. Oh, by the way, these are spray gun filters. I already went over it, got the big rust off, and now I'm just going to go over it with sandpaper real fast, just to get stuff like this. Then I went over this to get all the dirt and more heavy rust. Then I went over this to get into little lower spaces. Then I sanded every inch so the paint will stick. It's not perfect, but it's better. Good enough. Okay, well, it's going to be in the 90s today. You can see it's already draining some fluid, water or gas, probably water. But that's the plug. Look at this mask. This is why you got to wear a mask. There's what it should look like. That's just from the rust on this. I blew out the dirt in these frame rails. Then I painted where the gas tank is going to go. And I started painting back. So I got this area. And before I got the front area, I think. Oh, a lot of it. It's just when I feel like doing it. See how the gas tank's doing. Okay, it's in the sun. Anyway, I think that sucker's ready for tomorrow. Yeah, 110 degrees, 109. It's dry. Okay, I'm done for the day. It's too dang hot. Yeah, it's been 90 for the last few days. Now it's raining or sprinkling. Feels good. So I'm gonna put the gas tank back in, finally. I noticed this lid here is all worn out, this gasket. Well, then I almost forgot to put this on this pad. I used some adhesive. Better than nothing. I don't want it to slip off. So I got my strap. Hopefully I can slip it in and just tighten the strap. And this is the ground wire that I showed in another video. Looks better. Even though it's not perfect, that paint looks better. Got the bolts all cleaned up, painted, and I oiled them with my little baby oil can. Try to prevent rust. Okay, I had to turn the light off. I couldn't get a good picture of this before, but this is the piece I straightened. It was bad. I got the gas tank in, touched it up. This is where I hooked my hooks in to hook it around the tank. These are the plugs. I just pop the plugs out with one there, one there. Anyway, it looks a lot better. Got the fuel line and the sending unit wire hooked back up. Okay, gas gauge is on empty. Keys on. A third of a can. We'll see if that's enough to make the needle move. I think it moved up a little bit. I need to go get 5 gallons of gas. Okay, well the tape peeled right off. Epoxy is working. I got the wheel straight. Remember, that's what I was using the string for, because I don't see how to line this up. I didn't mark it right. But anyway, that is straight. Yeah, I guess there is a mark on here. Very faint, and that blue mark. So I'm just gonna, I mean, it's real close to what I think is straight, so. Okay, and I put some anti-seize on these threads because it was a bitch getting it off. Okay, the horn works. I put it on, but this nut is stripped. So I'm gonna have to get a chase. I don't think I have one that big. It's always something, but the horn works, the gas gauge works, and we're gonna move on to the trunk lock. I got the parts, we'll see if that works. Yeah, since it's stripped, I wasn't sure what the threads are, but luckily I got this steering wheel, so I'm gonna take that nut off. Whatever that is what it was. I tell you, man, I use this thing all the time. It's 5/8 18. So I'm gonna need to order that. I might need to get another nut. I mean, this is the good one. Well, here's the lock that came out of here. Here's the new lock cylinder. They're kind of the same, except the way the clip goes on. So we'll see if we can get it in. Again, you turn this to a certain point, and then this pin right here will drop, and you can slide it in and it locks into that hole right there. Okay, I got it in. I had to push really hard. You can see that pin right there. I turned the key to a certain position. Here's the part number. I can't remember who I got it from. Okay, I'm still trying to figure this out, but there's a rubber washer that goes right here to seal it when you put it in the trunk. Then right here, that groove, you need a 3/16. Measure it with calipers. And then behind that, on the old lock, there was a piece right there. So that didn't come with any of these keys. And then the other problem I don't know right now is this go on like that, or does it go on like that? Yeah, I haven't installed this yet, but it's going to show you something. Again, I do this because if somebody's trying to do what I'm doing, when all the parts are missing. I had that real thin washer I showed you before goes under there, but then I had to get a washer to put under this C-clip, or if not, it was just too much slop. I'm gonna put this up. It must go like that. Anyway, that's the way I'm putting it in, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna show you something. Again, this is only if you're trying to figure out what I'm trying to figure out. So when you put this piece in, okay, you see the way that is in there right there? But anyway, that's how it has to be to start. You're gonna have to hold this arm up and get that clip above. If it's underneath, it won't work. If you go through this, you'll know what I'm talking about. That was a backbreaker. I'm too old to bend like that. I'm gonna show you how I finally get this thing in. If you go back, the way I put the piece on the back of this was correct. And then the other thing I said about getting that part above the jilly bobber. But, you see this wire here? That lever right there is on a spring and it wants to keep going down. So I tied it back, put this through and then snapped it. I know it's hard to understand, but that's how I did it. Okay, before I close this trunk and get locked out, let's lock it. So we hit that latch. Now I'm gonna try it. I got a wire here that I can reach through the tail light in case something goes wrong. Well, I had a piece of wood in here to hold this trunk down a little further. Yeah, I did. Anyway, I got the gas gauge working, the horn working, the trunk is working, but I got that strip bolt on the steering wheel. Okay, after suffering through that, and I did suffer, I'll show you how this works. First of all, there's some steps you got to do. Put this on first. It's not going to make any sense unless you have to do it. But the part I was struggling with in the end is there's a hole in the trunk right here. This lever has to be up. So I put a wire in here and tied it back to keep that up. So picture that staying up. And that's how you unlock your trunk. This piece goes like that. There's no spring, there's no nothing. It goes just like that. This piece goes like that. This thing should be on here like, let me see here. That should be on there like that. The stock one has a bushing that goes in here, but that's how it goes. So You get the lock in, you get this in. But then you gotta put this through this hole. So this is in, the lock cylinder's in, this is in. But you have to bend, you're standing over here, you twist your back this way. Slip this through here like that. Slip this through like that. The problem is there's no room unless this is up. If that is not up, you don't have any room. So tie that back, and you're gonna need one of these. Again, this piece was missing in my car. So that's why I'm going through all this. It was a bitch. So it should be, so you slip it through here. You get it through there. You lock it. When you turn the key, it's gonna pull that. You're turning the key. This is spring loaded, so it just, as soon as it releases, it goes back. That was the piece. That was a bitch. It looks so simple right here. So again, pull this piece, tie this piece back. If not, you're trying to hold this, because this you can adjust with the key. This thing, you can't get your fingers in there. I hope that makes sense. I'm glad it's over with. Again, I know I go over stuff way deep, but trust me, if you don't know how it goes together, and your lock was broken and your lock was missing, this information is invaluable. And this is the brass drift I used on the gas tank, because brass doesn't make sparks. But you got again, we got the fuel gauge working, trunk lock working, the horn working at last, except for it's stripped. Yeah, I ordered a wiring diagram book. I can't believe how big it is. 17 inches by 12. This is pretty nice. Look at this, is huge. Let's go check the fuel gauge. Put the key in, turn it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little above half. So again, I have a fuel gauge with a dial. That's what I want. I have a temperature gauge with a dial. That's what I want. I don't have a tach. I don't have a voltmeter. So I don't remember what I did with the keys. Luckily, I left that trunk wire on there. See if I can pop it open. Maybe I left the keys in there. Okay, I got the trunk open. The keys are not in here. I don't ever want to get locked out of this trunk. I was thinking there's two options. I could make a hole here and just put a rubber plug. It's my car, I can do everything I want. I could hide an emblem or something on top, and then I could just reach in and push that lever. Or I could run some kind of wire over to here, or I could just pull the tail light off and reach up inside. I don't know if you can pull the tail light off from the outside. I think you have to undo the nuts on the inside. Anyway, where did I do with the keys? Yeah, you get old, you start doing stupid stuff. But I kept all the old trunk lock parts. I put the keys, at least I think that's the key. Yeah, these must be the keys. Yeah, this wire is holding this open. You gotta take that off. Yeah, now the key bounces back. It wasn't bouncing back because I had it tied open. I guess I feel like working on these wires. What ran to this engine originally was 3 wires: a coil wire, temperature, and oil pressure. I don't need these right now. All I need is the coil. And the way I understand this is, and I'm going to check it, I just got to lay that down in there temporarily and run it to the coil. Then this engine will start. Got my buzzer hooked up. Negative. 1 wire to the negative plus on the battery. 1 wire to the coil. Right now there's no tone. The buzzer should go off. And I turn this key. That's the coil wire. I wonder if it works in auxiliary. No. I'm just gonna leave it beeping for now. So this is the red with like a green stripe. Red with green stripe. I can't remember. Let's see if the oil pressure beeps. The oil pressure is also hot. Let's get a different tone. You hear that? I don't know why. I need power to the choke. I can run the choke wire off the coil wire. So I got more of these Waco things. This is the coil wire, so I just need a 2-splice. I took the cap off. I forgot that since I had it on an engine stand before, I already have a splice. There's 2 splices. One goes to the tack, I think I said that earlier, and one goes to the hot wire of the coil. And it says on top of there, battery and tack. So here's my splice. Red and green wire into this 3-way, then into the distributor, and the orange wire to the choke. Orange wire to the choke, hot in, hot to the distributor or coil. Anyway, I want to pre-loop the engine. Yeah, I just had another thought. I don't need the key to be on to crank this, so let me go turn the key off. First, I'm going to pull the number 1 plug. Okay, so I'm going to put my finger over the spark plug hole. This thing should, when I'm on number 1, that should end up right there. That was it. I felt it. I mean, look in the spark plug hole. It's pointing at number 1. Pulling the distributor out. Okay, so I got to check myself. Wrote it down on my book. Rotor spins counterclockwise, so I got to spin that counterclockwise. I don't know if you saw my other videos, but this is the old distributor points. With this 15mm socket. Fits on there pretty good. You gotta get that down on the oil pump. Well, you know what? There's a washer down there. I don't know what that washer is doing in there. That could have ruined my whole engine. What is that doing in there? So I'm just gonna suspend this for a minute or two. Anyway, I think it's oiled up enough. That's 1 now. Number 1 is right there. I want it snug, but not tight. That's good. One, 5, 4, 2. Bring up some fuel. See if it's working. It's gonna take a while. Make sure there's no wires in the way. We got fuel already. It might be just fuel on the line. Let's keep going. Okay, we got fuel. See if the accelerator pump is working. Yeah. Okay, it's the next day. you remember I eliminated the generator. These 3 wires were eliminated. Don't need those anymore because I don't have a generator. So I don't have a regulator anymore. So these 3 wires that are running back to the regulator, I don't need. So, because the alternator has a built-in regulator. And all you need is 1 wire to the battery from the alternator. That's the charge wire. But I still got 2 hots coming in from here. So I tied these 2 hots together to this terminal. So this, and this are tied together. Yeah, I got sidetracked again. The water sprayer motor, whatever you thought about, does this thing work? I'm pushing this button. It does work. It's a miracle. That thing's 60 years old. I don't think the voltmeter works. Watch, it'll move, but it doesn't go up. It should be. What the heck? You see it right there, volts? Yeah, I guess I don't understand electricity at all. So it'll work on 12 volts if I'm on the battery, but it won't work on that coil wire. Yeah, I gotta think about, I'm not gonna start this car until I think about this. Something is wrong and I don't understand yet what it is. Okay, I ran across something else I don't understand. I was saying that I had 7.7 volts here. This is from the key. But once I disconnected this wire that I had, this excite wire, to the alternator, which was hot, by the way. I mean, it was hot to the touch. I now have 10.9. That's more like it. I know this diode wire was bad in the first place, that I had to reverse it. But let me see if the voltmeter works now. Okay, now the voltmeter works. It wasn't working over there because I didn't have enough juice, because this diode wire was sucking all the energy. But to me, it means that wire's bad. I don't know what else it can be, but it's down to that wire. And I can't just unplug that wire right now because I got to take the alternator off. It's in a bad spot. Well, screw it. If I need a new wire, I got to take the alternator off anyway. It's just going to delay me starting the engine, but I'd rather delay than have a fire or something that I don't understand. I didn't understand that problem. But now I know. I'm pretty damn sure it's this wire. So I'm going to pull the alternator off. Okay, I got the alternator out. Okay, as usual, I was going to end the video here, but I looked on the internet about this diode. So here it is. So here's a picture of it. See that stripe there? So that is called the cathode side. The other side is called the anode side. So power will go through this way, anode to cathode, but it will not go cathode to anode. If you don't have that, you could possibly backfeed through your wire. You saw the way it was hooked up. Back, if there's any residual power or whatever, I don't know, it would backflow through the key and not turn off. So there's 2 tests. There's the diode test. That's the reading you should have. With the red on the anode side and the black on the cathode side. And you should have 0.05 to, 0.5 to 0.8. Okay, I pass on that test. And if you turn these leads around, so then you should have a OL reading. Now he also says there's a resistance test. Same thing, put the red here, the black here. If you go this way, you should have 50.0. Well, I got 0.558. So I don't know what that means. How could one test be good and one other test not be? I don't understand that. So you put this on resistance. You can see that symbol right there. Same symbol as that. But it's still on ohms. So you see that ohm symbol up here? So I'm going to push the yellow button until now I got the diode test. I don't know if you can see that right there. So now it's on the diode test. The red lead is on the anode, the black lead is on the cathode. I got 0.5, just like it says, so I got 0.55, so that's good. If I turn it around, I got overload. But now if I go to resistance, so I'm gonna push this button again. Now I'm back on resistance. I got 556. He's saying I'm supposed to have 50. So I guess this is bad. I'm just gonna assume that this is bad. I mean, it overheated. That's how you do the diode test. I didn't know that. So again, the silver stripe, if I didn't say this, the silver stripe on the one end means the power will not go this way. It will go towards the stripe. This should be going to the alternator. This is the unknown. This is the unknown stuff you just have to figure out. And I can't go down to a hardware store and buy this. This does not pass the resistance test. It should have 50. Let's do it one more time. I want to see if I can understand what the heck it's reading. It's reading 555. To me, that's 550. That's 10 times the resistance that it should have. If anybody's watching this video and you know something I don't know, let me know. But as far as I know, it's bad.